Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially update you with it right now. It's Manchester United as always on this channel. So reportedly Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid, who's a current midfielder, well, he plays a defensive mid. Anyway, he can play. He is a current midfielder. He's the current player. Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid, and reportedly he is considering making a move to Manchester United as the player. For Atletico Madrid, I've got some of the stats up here. He's made 101 appearances, 13 goals. Atletico Madrid reserve team, his 70 appearances, 8 goals. He's also been on loan at Rayo Vallecano before. And, he's a player that has a, let's have a look, on 1st of July 2017, he signed a 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid. This Saul Niguez signed a 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid back in July 2017, and he reportedly, it says in the press, he has a release clause of around about 130 odd million pound, if that is correct as well. Reportedly, Mourinho's a big admirer of the player, and reportedly he does potentially want to make a move to Manchester United. Does the player as well in the current process. So he's a player that he actually moved to Atletico Madrid in 2008 at the age of 13. He started his youth career with Real Madrid, and then he joined, obviously, Atletico Madrid in 2008. Blah, blah, blah. And then basically, so made his Liga debut at 21st of April 2013. July 2013, Saul signed with Real Vallecano on a season loan deal. Yes, I've just got really a bit of information up about him here. So reportedly, as I'm saying, he's another midfielder. Jose Mourinho's eyeing out quite a few midfielders as well, as the board have made it clear to Jose Mourinho he has to sell before he can currently buy. But basically, Saul Niguez has made 11 starts this season, scored 1 goal. But what I'm suggesting out to you guys is that obviously Atletico Madrid want and Herrera, but Man United are reluctant and are resistant to offload the player. Maybe Herrera may be keener on the current move to Atletico Madrid, but basically Mourinho has blocked Herrera making a move to Atletico Madrid because obviously Man United have the option of putting a 1-year extension on Herrera's current contract in the process. We have an option of putting a 1-year extension, but he's blocked Herrera making a move to Atletico Madrid, as I said, in the current process, guys. He's blocked a move, and Herrera, who did dominate our midfield last season, this season hasn't made a fantastic impact. Let's be honest, guys. Herrera hasn't made a fantastic impact in the Manchester United team this season, especially I think he does better in a 3-man midfield than he does in the midfield too. But obviously, with the absences of Paul Pogba, the absences of Fellaini's just recovered from injury, but obviously Paul Pogba's absent. He's been out for over a month. He's expected to return for the Newcastle game at the weekend. I'm more central creative midfielder, and Herrera knows now he's not preferred choice in the Manchester United squad, so he knows he's falling down the pecking order. As I said, recently he's only been playing, obviously due to the injuries of Pogba and Fellaini, and that he's been playing mainly alongside Matic in that midfield, but I think Herrera has struggled this season, guys. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Early on this season, Mourinho stuck with mainly the two in midfield. He went with Matic and Pogba in the midfield too. Because they were complementing each other fantastically well. He did put Herrera in the mix quite a few times as well, but not very often. But yeah, as I said, he won tournaments for Spain at the under-20 and under-21 level. He won the Player of the Year last season, made his international debut in 2016, and we purchased him for £26 million from Atletico Bilbao. So he does have experience of playing in Spain, does under Herrera. This is his 4th season of the process. He's nearly made a century appearances now in the Premier League as under Herrera. So could there be a swap deal involved in this? Saul, not Niguez, if I pronounce his name right. He's an Atletico Madrid player, reportedly wants to move to Manchester United, even though in July 2017 he signed a 9-year contract, and he does have a release clause of a staggering 130 odd million pound. I do think it is, but reportedly he wants to make the move. As I said, the player risen up the ranks of Real Madrid, and then at the age of 13 joined Atletico Madrid in 2008 as well. But he does look a very, very good player, so could a potential swap deal in this, But I think Man United are only if Saul Niguez wants to come, which he said he does, Man United would want to just get him without, maybe involving Herrera as part of the deal as well. But the board have made it clear to Jose Mourinho, basically, he has to sell before he can buy. So that's what you got to take into consideration. So he still looks to adjust the midfield. As he updated you, Fellaini, yes, looks like Marian Fellaini's going to leave Manchester United, as we all know. It looks like Marion Fellaini is going to leave Manchester United, guys, as we all know in the process. It did say before we do have the option to put a 1-year extension on Marion Fellaini's contract. Marion Fellaini and Jose Mourinho, you know, he's a big admirer of the player. He's made a fantastic impact this season, you know, obviously, you know, before he got injured, Marion Fellaini. But he did say the agent has been in discussions with Besiktas. That's the team that's been linked with Fellaini. And reportedly now an agreement it's come to an agreement basically now that Man United are willing to offload Fellaini for £8 million in January. £8 million because obviously he's set to leave on a free transfer next summer. He's Marion Fellaini, even though Jose Mourinho doesn't want to sell him or lose the player at all. Man United, in the process, Man United have not secured Marion Fellaini a new deal. So if we can't secure him a new deal, we might as well cash in for him in January rather than let him go on a free next summer. And this is 5th season in the process of Manchester United. We paid over £27 million for him from Everton, as we all know, Marion Fellaini. But yeah, we could cash in £8 million for him in January. Also, Jose Mourinho blocked him making a move to Galatasaray in the August window as well. But it looked as though at one point Man United were actually going to sign him a new deal, and I think he was keen on a long-term extension, was Marion Fellaini. But only the club were only keen on putting a 12-month extension on his current contract, Marion Fellaini. But looking like he's going to go now anywhere, so that's another one. And as I updated you also, Luke Shaw's another player that's looking like he's going to go. I think Man United, you know, are asking for we're asking for £20 million in January for Luke Shaw. It looks realistically now that Luke Shaw's going to be leaving Manchester United in January. There is quite a few teams interested. You know, there's City sniffing around. City have been mentioned. You know, there's Chelsea. You know, there's Arsenal. You know, there's rumours that he could go back to Southampton. Obviously, where he's not the ranks fantastically well. But obviously, Southampton have to offload Ryan Bertrand. Shaw may be even keen on reuniting with Pochettino. It has mentioned Tottenham. Maybe Pochettino may be keen on reuniting with Luke Shaw, because obviously Danny Rose's future's uncertain with Tottenham. Maybe keen on reuniting with Luke Shaw, but there's quite a few teams interested in him. As I said, you know, this is his 4th season in the process for Man United. He's only played 32 against Manchester United. He hasn't played in the Premier League this season. It did say in the media yesterday that Fenerbahce were planning to offer an escape route for Luke Shaw, because we know he's had a difficult time with Manchester United since he's been at the club. He hasn't really had much time to perform. We know that he's injury prone as well. And to get £20 million for a player that's not really established himself well, you know, not had the chance to perform that well, suffered injuries, that's very, very beneficial for Manchester United. And I think we can find a suitable place for Luke Shaw, because we paid £29 million for him Southampton. He made his senior debut in 2014 for England as well. So, and we know under Mourinho he's 4th or 5th choice left back, but he's still under contract with Man United until 2019, as we all know. And Luke Shaw now fears his career could be over after a breakdown in relation with Jose Mourinho. As we all know, the world's most expensive defender, the left back. But yeah, it's looking likely he's going to go as well. So we could cash 28 million in your 8 for Fellaini, 20 for Luke Shaw, and then we'll obviously have to find them potential replacements in the current process. So we'll see. So I'm going to update you on. So yeah, Jose Mourinho, as we all know, has looked into quite a few left backs. You know, Kieran Turner's been mentioned. Tottenham have been interested in him as well. Kieran Turner, Danny Rose as well as been mentioned quite a few times, as we all know. Danny Rose, he's under contract with Tottenham to 2021. 10-year, he's been at Tottenham now. Began his career with Leeds. If he become more a regular player in the 2012-2013 season with Tottenham, did Danny Rose, I think he'd be a fantastic replacement for Luke Shaw. His attacking instinct's good. His defensive distribution's very, very good. Highly experienced, fully Premier League proven. Is Danny Rose, as we all know. But yeah, very, very good indeed. And he did say willing to turn Chelsea down to make a move to Man United. And yeah, so it could potentially still happen. Danny Rose come to Manchester United in January. Obviously, Kieran Turner's been mentioned. Obviously, Tottenham have reportedly been interested in Kieran Turner as well. Who another left back I'd like, because he's a fantastic, bright, huge prospect. Is Kieran Turner as well. Kieran Turner's very, very good though, because he's been at Celtic since he was 7. You know, he's risen up the youth system very, very well as Kieran Turner. As we all know, he made his international debut in 2016. He's made 18 appearances for Scotland. He hasn't been in senior team for Scotland very, very long, let's be honest. And he's just recently signed a 6-year deal with Celtic, as we all know. He made his competitive debut in April 2015. During 2015-16, he was fantastic. He became more regular in Celtic's team and made over 30 appearances. Did the player October 2016 suffered an injury, so he was out of action for a couple of months, but then obviously regained full fitness again, and then was obviously named captain in 2017. So I'd like Kieran Turner. He'd be a fantastic replacement for Luke Shaw as well. There's been quite a few names mentioned. There's also Alex Galamado from Benfica being mentioned. That Mourinho's had an interest in him as well. We know Jordi Alba were mentioned in August as well. Also Ryan Sessegnon. I'd absolutely love Ryan Sessegnon, you know, at Manchester United. We know he plays in the Championship, but he is very, very good young age prospect. As I said, also Tottenham were interested in Ryan Sessegnon as well from Fulham back in August. I think Tottenham had a £25 million bid turned down for Ryan Sessegnon for Ryan Sessegnon in August as well. Ryan Sessegnon is a Fulham player, as we all know. He joined Fulham in 2008, so he's been at Fulham now for nearly a decade. 9 years. He's been at Fulham for nearly a decade. And in 2008, he joined the under-9 teams. Did Ryan Sessegnon. He's recently ranked fantastically well. And we know he made his debut. His first team. He was very, very good in his debut season last season. We know he made his first team debut against Leighton Orient in the EFL Cup. Scored his first goal against Cardiff. Made his first league debut against Leeds United. And also scored in his FA Cup debut against Cardiff as well. Did Ryan Sessegnon. But he's a fantastic player. You know, he's risen up the Fulham youth system fantastically well. And look how he's doing now. You know, he's good at the left back. You know, his attacking instinct's good. His defensive distribution's very, very good. He's very generous on that left-hand side Fulham, and he can score goals as well, you know, considering he is a left-back, Ryan Sessegnon. But as I said, yeah, he recently signed a 3-year deal back in June. He signed a 3-year deal back in June with Fulham as well, did Ryan Sessegnon. But he's risen up the ranks well. Last season, I think he scored about 7 goals in all competitions for Fulham. Did Ryan Sessegnon as well. But he's saying if any team had to go for him in January, Fulham may demand £50 million. And that is a lot for a player who's in the current Championship. But he's turned out very, very good indeed, as Ryan Sessegnon. I think he's now age 17. He's Sessegnon, but he'd be an ideal replacement for Luke Shaw. Obviously, Sessegnon, you know, Luke Shaw's obviously more highly experienced. You know, Luke Shaw's Premier League proven, even though he's known for injuries. But Luke Shaw's older than Ryan Sessegnon. Ryan Sessegnon's quite a lot younger than Luke Shaw, but he'd be still a fantastic replacement for Luke Shaw, as I said, in the current process. But in the midfield, as I'm saying about Niguez from Atletico Madrid, the current midfielder, as I said, he looks very, very good. Began his career at Real Madrid while he was in the youth system. Then he joined Atletico Madrid in 2008, just the age of 13, the player. And we know the player reportedly is saying he wants to make the move to Manchester United. He has a release clause of 130 million, I think it is, but he signed a 9-year contract back in July 2017, so it's not too long ago when he signed that 9-year contract with Atletico Madrid. But there could be talks that there could be potential swap deal between him either going to Atletico Madrid, Saul, Niguez coming to Manchester United, but I don't see it happening because Man United are reluctant and are resisting to offload Herrera, even though he knows he's not going to be preferred choice, Herrera, and he may be frustrated by this, just like Luke Shaw's frustrated with the lack of game time he's getting with Manchester United. So you could tell this is why he wants to make the move in the current process. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that in the current process. So you've got also, as I've been updating you recently, you know, who's Manchester United's next signing? Could it be Ozil? You know, could it be Antoine Griezmann in the current process as well? But I'm saying, right there, guys. But I'm saying about Mesut Ozil. I think he still could be Manchester United's potential next signing, because as I said, he did reportedly tell teammates that he does want to join Manchester United. Mesut Ozil in the current process. And he also suggested outdid Mesut Ozil. You know, he's demanding a high wage from Arsenal. Reportedly, he did say if he's any chance of signing a new Arsenal deal, Mesut Ozil, you know, he was demanding to wear Jack Wilshere's number 10 shirt in the current process, you know, if this was going to happen. Reportedly did say Arsenal are willing to offload Ozil for 30 million in January, because obviously he comes a free chance next summer. Arsenal would rather cash in for him rather than let him go on a free next summer. And also same with Sanchez, you know, they were reportedly willing to offload him for around 20-30 million pound in January as well. But Ozil has come out and suggested he's still fully focused. He's still fully focused on Arsenal. He's Mesut Ozil, and this is what he's explained in this situation. He's still focused on Arsenal. He's 100% focused on Arsenal. We know Mourinho was fantastic with him at Real Madrid, as we all know. They had 3 fantastic years together. He's now made over 100 odd appearances now for Arsenal. This is his 5th season in the process as Ozil. He has struggled this season, to be quite honest, as Mesut Ozil. But Jose Mourinho says he's a fantastic number 10. We know the contract talks have stalled. Arsenal nowhere near in the process of securing him a new deal, as we all know. Also, you know, was in Bundesliga for 5 years, so he's an highly experienced player. It's Arsenal's second most expensive signing. Arsenal paid £42.5 million for him, but I think he'd do fantastically well for Manchester United. But as I said, we have to sell before we can buy, so Mourinho's obviously putting a couple of players on the transfer market, you know, to maybe fund, to generate some money to buy some players as replacements, and Ozil could be one of them. But I don't know yet. He's a free transfer next summer, but as I said, Arsenal would rather cash in for him rather than let him go on a free next summer, guys, in the current process. The current World Cup winner, but can create chances, can provide assists, can also score goals as well. So, yeah, very, very good player, guys, without a shadow of a doubt. And it's going the same with Alexis Sanchez, because he's refusing to sign a new deal. We definitely know that Sanchez is going to leave Arsenal Football Club, as we all know. We definitely know that Alexis Sanchez is going to leave Arsenal Football Club. Reportedly was demanding a higher wage from Arsenal. Reportedly was demanding higher wages from Paris Saint-Germain if he was to go to Paris Saint-Germain. Alexis Sanchez as well. And we know he made his international debut in 2006. We know Sanchez has won honours with like River Plate. You know, he wouldn't join his loan River Plate, Coca-Cola. He's been under knees before, and he won honours with Barcelona. He scored 21 goals in his last season with Barcelona. And now Arsenal have got him. Arsenal paid £35 million for him. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons of Arsenal. This is his 4th season of pro, and he was demanding that he wanted Champions League footballer Alexis Sanchez in the current process as well. But his versatility is good, can play as attacking mid, distinctive in his play, can play on each flank as well. But looking like he's going to go now, as I said. So Arsenal have eyed replacements out. But as I updated you earlier on about Nabil Fekir from Lyon, looks like they're going to try and sell both Ozil and Sanchez for 60 million, so they can fund, so they can get Nabil Fekir from Lyon, generate the 60 million, and then pay that 60 million for Nabil Fekir as well in the process. But I still think City emerged as the front runners to go on and get Alexis Sanchez. Definitely. You know, he was fantastic with Pep Guardiola at Barcelona, and I think City are just keen on getting the player, looking to add more strength and looking to add more quality into their squad. You know, they did spend a lot of money in August. You know, they're on form this season as well, as we all know. But I still think Sanchez will definitely make the move to Manchester City. Whether City go for him in the summer on a free transfer, whether City pay £20-30 million for him in January. But as I said, Arsenal could have cashed £50-60 million in, but Arsenal couldn't find that replacement. Lemar was the main priority target to replace Sanchez, but it didn't work out because Monaco were reluctant and were resisted to offload Lemar. Lemar still looks likely he could leave Monaco next summer, as the president's already confirmed a while back. But he's good. He's still in the contract, I think, with Monaco till 2019-20, if I'm correct. You know, he's another player that can play as attacking mid, can play in each flank as well. His versatility is good, his passing ability is good, his dribbling is good. And Arsenal identify him as a fantastic replacement for Sanchez. But Arsenal had 2 bids rejected for him in August. Liverpool had 2 bids rejected for him in August as well. But that was Arsenal's main priority target, mainly to replace Alexis Sanchez in the process. But it never ever worked out for Arsenal, so Sanchez never ever left the club, and Arsenal had a few players on their agenda, but they failed to get the pursuit to find a replacement for Sanchez. And Arsenal may have a bit of good, decent news, as I did update you, about Nabil Fekir from Lyon. As I said, Arsenal, got the pursuit of Lacazette from Lyon for £52 million in August. Since he's been at Arsenal, he's made a fantastic impact as a Nabil, as a Lacazette, sorry, should I say, but Nabil Fekir, if I've pronounced his name right, from Lyon, can play as attacking mid, can play as a striker, and he's looking to reunite with Lacazette. If them two were a fantastic partnership, during their time with Lyon. But reportedly, it's saying Arsenal are coming close now of securing a deal for Nabil Fekir in January for £60 million. Arsenal are preparing to pay a club record fee of £60 million, but they're hoping in this situation that they can offload Sanchez, offload us for 30 million each, and then fund the Nabil Fekir deal and generate the 60 million for the departures of Ozil and Sanchez, 30 million each, and then use that 60 million to get the pursuit of Nabil Fekir. But some reports saying it doesn't make sense really, offloading two players for say 30 million each, offloading two players 30 million each, that adds up to 60, and then just getting one player for two really. So what it means is Arsenal losing two players for 60 million, for instance, and then just buying one player after losing two players. So that doesn't really make sense, if you ask me. It doesn't really make sense, if Arsenal lose Sanchez and Ozil, they get £60 million for both players, and then only get Nabil Fekir for £60 million, only one player. Then that's a bit disappointing. But this is good news, basically, because it's saying Arsenal are close to getting a deal over the line for him. He's a very, very good player, because this season he's already scored 12 goals as the player. And we know he's been in the first team now. I think this is his fifth season now in the process with the first team, because he got promoted into the senior team in July 2013 as well, did the player. He's very good for France. He made his international debut in 2015 as well, did the player. And in his second season with Lyon, he become more regular in the first team with Lyon as well, did the current player. And he risen up Lyon's youth system fantastically well as well. In August 2013, made his first team debut. He scored his first competitive goal in April 2014, as we all know, the player. And in his first season, 2013-14, he appeared in 17 games in all competitions, did the player. In all competitions, did the player. In 2014-15, that's when he become more regular, as I said. He ended that season with 13 goals and 9 assists. So, and in 2015-16, he'd been injured, so he'd missed the majority of the season as well. And last season, he scored 10 goals and 10 assists, so he's known for scoring. He can create, he can provide assists. His versatility is very, very good as well. So Arsenal may want to see him, partner up with Lacazette in their front line as well. So whatever happens with Ozil and Sanchez, are they both going to leave in January? Because Arsenal would rather cash in rather than let him go free next summer. Or will one leave in January, Arsenal cash in, and one see out his deal and then leave on a free transfer next summer? I'm not quite sure, to be quite honest, because Ozil's still saying he's focused on Arsenal, even though Arsenal are willing to offload him for £30 million. So I don't know, guys, in the process, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So we'll see what happens. But Nabil Fekir, very, very good indeed. He's a very, very good player. But yeah, he's back on fantastic form again after just 2015-16. He'd missed large periods of that, due to injury as well in the process. And you've got Jack Wilshere for Arsenal, who's another player, that's coming to an end of his deal, and Arsenal nowhere near in the process of securing Jack Wilshere a new deal with Arsenal Football Club, because it did say Jack Wilshere could be also set to leave Arsenal in January, and that was in the media the other week as well. So Arsenal, Nabil Fekir will be good signing for them if they get the deal over the line, but they need more than that. If 2 or 3 of their players leave and they only get one, that doesn't really make sense. They need a couple of other players in there as well. But Jack Wilshere, he's saying he could leave in January from Arsenal Football Club, because we know Jack Wilshere last season was on loan at Bournemouth, where he'd made 27 appearances. He's been on loan at Bolton before as well. He's risen up the Arsenal youth system fantastically well, because he joined the Arsenal youth system in October 2001, did Jack Wilshere as well in the process. He risen up the youth system very, very well. As we all know, Jack Wilshere is a very, very good defensive and attacking midfielder. I think he can play in other positions. His combination in his play is good. His link-up play is very, very good. and he's a very, very good. He may be still key in Arsenal's. He may be still key for Arsene Wenger, even though he hasn't started a game this season for Arsenal. He still may be an essential player for Arsene Wenger. Jack Wilshere, but he became Arsenal's youngest league debut win in 2008. You know, he made his debut against Blackburn. That was just the age of 16 years of age. He made his first team senior debut. Become Arsenal's youngest player to play in European competition. That was at just the age of 16 as well. And also was fantastic in the FA Youth Cup. You know, scored in the final against Liverpool. Scored in the final against Liverpool. Scored, I think, a couple in the semi-final as well. And also made his international debut against Hungary as well. Did Jack Wilshere in the current process as well. And I think, was he injured last season as well, Jack Wilshere? So he's another player that could leave Arsenal as well in the current process. So yeah, we'll see what happens about that as well. And yeah, so what I was saying basically about Saul Niguez, reportedly he does want to make the move to Manchester United, does Saul Niguez. Reportedly, yeah, an Atletico Madrid player. He risen up the ranks with Atletico Madrid because he actually joined their youth system in 2008. You know, he was at Real Madrid before that. He joined at just the age of 13, Atletico Madrid youth system as well. And in July 2017, signed a 9-year contract with the club, and he does have a release clause of £130 million. Does the player as well. So reportedly he wants to make a move to Manchester United. So could he be a good sign if Man United do get the player? But Man United could definitely see a few players go in January. So Jose Mourinho will have to identify replacements in his book. Griezmann could still possibly happen. Could still happen. It's very unlikely it will happen in January. Man United still may go for him next summer. He's still reportedly on Barcelona's agenda. Is Antoine Griezmann as well. Antoine Griezmann signed a new deal back in June till 2022 with Atletico Madrid. He has got a release clause of $100 million, but he does reduce to $89 million next summer. But he was our main priority target in August, and he'd been fantastic. But due to the transfer ban, we didn't get the pursuit of the player. He could have still come, but obviously he had that guilty consciousness, you know, with Atletico Madrid's transfer banner they received. We didn't get the pursuit of Antoine Griezmann in the process, and our pursuit of it had come to a conclusion. But he can lead the lines, and he's an efficient finisher. He's very, very clinical. You know, he'd have been fantastic in the mix, you know, likes of Rashford and Martial. Fantastic two young age prospects that are growing and developing into a game. Rashford's dramatically improved this season. So too Martial as well. They've been trending fantastically well. He'd look good alongside Lukaku, even though Lukaku's done very, very well this season, but he has gone 6-7 games now, you know, without scoring a goal for us. Griezmann, you know, and he'd be fantastic number 7 for us because we haven't had a very, very good number 7, you know, for quite a long time, as we're all aware of. We haven't had a good number 7 for quite a long time. But yeah, he's Atletico Madrid. It's his 4th season now in the process with Atletico Madrid, and he's been at Real Sociedad before, so he does have a lot of experience of playing in Spain. You know, very, very good in Euro 2016, you know, played the tournament. Top scorer as well in Euro 2016 was Griezmann. Also was part of the squad who won the 2010 UEFA European Under-19 Championship. Made his senior debut for France in 2014. Helped France get to the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 2014 as well. Griezmann, he was a key player. And he's just absolutely fantastic. 28 goals last season for Atletico Madrid in the La Liga for Griezmann as well. But as I said, it was due to the transfer ban. He estimated 6 out of 10 he was going to come to Old Trafford. It looked likely it was going to happen, but due to the transfer ban, we never got a deal over the line for him. And Real Sociedad was fantastic. Scored 52 goals in just over 2 century appearances. Won the title with them as well. He was there 5 seasons. He also risen up the youth system there. Did Griezmann as well in the current process. Risen up the youth system fantastically well with Real Sociedad. But yeah, what do you think of this Saul Niguez situation? Reportedly, he said he wants to join Man United. He's got a release clause of £130 million. He signed a 9-year contract back in July 2017. So, guys, tell me what you think of this situation. Put your comments, likes, below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And see you all again, guys, very, very soon. Take care.